My name's Cago. I'm from Champaign. I was here born and raised. I just graduated from the U of I. And before I moved to Los Angeles, I got time to throw one more show for my project, Champaigntoast. So, me and like 6 buddies of mine are all moving into this like 3-bedroom crib with an open floor plan, and our idea is we're gonna try to like turn the whole thing into a studio. Basically, we got 2 video guys, me and one other mixing dude, a manager, a bunch of other stuff. So we're gonna try to make that into something profitable. And then I also got some friends out there who have been like, yo, I definitely want to work with you on some studio time, engineers from a bunch of different record labels and whatnot. So I'm moving out there to hopefully up the quality even more and I don't know, make a name where everyone's connected, I guess. I've been to LA a couple times, and there's only been, you know, like maybe like 10, 12 days that I've been out there. And every time I go out there, something crazy happens, or I meet somebody, or, you know, it's Busta Rhymes engineer one day, it's the dude that did the Carter's album the next day. Like, well, I did a ton of these collab songs, and those are super sick. I think for me in the next 6 months, I need to make sure I get situated in LA, figure all that stuff out. On top of that, I want to try to do, after this project drops, I'm trying to do a feature for pretty much anybody who sends a track my way from Champaign. I want to, you know, do as many features as I can, make sure everybody's got a song with me if they want to, and then I'm trying to put out some solo stuff. So Cago is a name that I came up with because my middle name is Chicago, and I didn't really have a name to go by for a while, and my parents had named me like with my middle name of Chicago for the sake of the music around the area. And so when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to go by, I wanted to do something with my middle name, but I knew I couldn't really rep the city because I'm from Champaign, not from Chicago. So I also used to be very like anxious and bullied and whatever the hell. So in my mind it was Chicago, but I dropped the shy, like the first 3 letters, but it's like SHY as well. And so that became my stage name. July 15th, there was this concert in Los Angeles called Hate Dies, Love Arrives, and it was thrown by Fuzi. And we basically last minute finessed our way into the show and performed in front of like 3,000 or something people. And that was my first performance really that I ever actually like did as Cago. We got back here and my manager was like, yo dude, you need to get some more performance experience under your belt. You need to come to these open mics at Canopy. And so basically since July 15th last year, whatever, I've been going to every open mic that I can make, getting that performance under my belt, and you know, now I'm pretty confident as a performer. So the open mic kind of became quickly like my family. Like I'd go there once a week and I would get to see a bunch of people that I knew and really enjoyed hanging around, and everybody just happened to be super dope as well. And so it was Mo Pesci that I got to be real close with, and I really ended up feeling like I had a second family there. And so now I was the studio, and I kind of wanted to first of all use as many skills as I got to like show everybody's talents at what they can do. And I guess the first song that was recorded off the project was See You Tonight with Karina. And I didn't have the idea for the project at the time. I was just kind of making some songs with some friends, and then I did a Yeah Yeah remix with Chase Baby, and a couple of songs later I'm like, hold up, I'm gonna have a whole lot of songs with a whole lot of people in the area. And so at this point I'm hitting up my producer and was like, yo dude, I need more beats, like I want to have tracks with this dude, and I need to have these people on there. And so we're figuring this all out. And then my buddy Dre Bands gets on a song with me, and I'm writing the hook, and I say Champaigntoast before I hit the coast, get my advance. And I was like, all right, well that fits the name of the project, like Champaigntoast. It's really just, it's for me, it's celebrating my 22 years of being here, and as well as mostly the last year of me getting to work with so many dope, talented people and put this project together. And so it's my last hurrah for the sake of Champaign-Urbana before I move off to LA. And every single track on the project has a feature. Some of them have 2. Some of them, there's like 3 people who I think appear twice. and they're all either like super dope lyricists or super close friends of mine that I've been doing music with. And really, I even though I didn't have the time to put literally everybody in Champaign because there's so many dope people out here, I did want to get at least, in 16 tracks, a snapshot of, some of the people that, or some of the best that Champaign has to offer, and I guess more strictly, a lot of my friends at the Canopy Club that I've gotten to perform with over the last year and a half or so. First of all, I think it's super blessed that I get to work with so many different styles, especially because it took me up until very, very recently until I started to figure out where exactly I wanted my sound to be, or whatever the heck. And so when I was trying to get these non-hip-hop artists, or whatever singers, or just people that rap different than me, I got to kind of use a whole different mode, I guess. I had a different beat planned out for each person to kind of fit their style, and I got to kind of just see how I could hang on a bunch of different instrumentals, a bunch of different vocal styles, and I met a lot of people halfway. The genre of the album is definitely hip-hop. That being said, it's all over the board. There's a couple more R&B tracks, there's a couple more hip-hop tracks, there's a couple more pop tracks. Of the hip-hop ones, there's some heavy trap stuff, there's some boom bap, there's, it's everything in between. So the only thing I knew going into it is, for some reason, I wanted Champagne Toast, the title track, third. And I had no clue why, but for some reason it just seemed right to have the title track as third. And so I started with that, and then from there it's a big mix between I wanted to keep it interesting, but also try to keep the genres somewhat together. So it starts off with some more hype stuff, and the first 3 or 4 tracks I feel are really more towards the sound that I'm headed towards. If I had to make a whole solo project, it would probably be closer to the first 4 tracks. You're gonna see not only the versatility of me as an artist, but also the breadth of talent that Champaign has. There's a ton of different styles, and I was talking with this engineer from Atlantic, and even then I was playing her the whole project, and she would listen and be like, ooh, who's that? I need to have them record. People around here are super awesome, and I think listening to the project, I'm hoping at least that you'll have a little more respect for the music community around here and want to tune in. Champagne Toast is it's a thank you and a showcase, and I mean, for me, this show is about having fun and getting to rap with some of the people that I've loved rapping with over the year. And I think it's also I don't know, I think during around the time I was on Fuck Finals, I heard some whispers of people telling me that they really appreciated what I did for the music community here. And whereas I haven't felt that impact as much being the person, I want to kind of have an impact there. So for me, Champagne Toast is partly a thank you and a goodbye. It's partly a showcase of everybody, and it's also partly trying to inspire people to collab and do as much as they can and build a community around here, at least around music. As much of it as I can perform, I'm gonna do. The project's entire length is 56 minutes, so it's a lot of rapping. I'm not gonna be too mad if we miss a couple songs, but anybody who's in town is basically down to come and perform with me. So Karina's on there, Jake Fava's on there, Annika, Young Club, Pesci, of course, Chase Baby, heck, even Dorian's coming back from out of town to perform Step It Up with me. Got 4 acts opening for me, and I heavily prioritized over people who had projects recently as well. So I got Trouble Chasing on there, which is Chase Baby and Truth aka Trouble, but now he's Sandman Slim. I got the Delinquents on there, and they're just a massive group, even though they don't got a project. Trouble Chasing had Trouble Chasing 2 drop recently. Gatson had Draft Day drop recently, and he's also opening. And then I got Smoking Space, who also has a similar like concept going with their project Featuring. So the Champaign Toast Show, in my mind, is a way that we can probably get all these artists in one little spot, because you got Smoking Space as a duo who's bringing a bunch of artists in to perform with them. Over half the artists, maybe more than that, have confirmed that they want to perform their track on my set. And then basically the rest of really dope Champaign Urbana hip hop